Hi, Mike McGinnis with agriculture.com. We are being joined today via Skype by Ron Kardel. He's the chairman of the National Turkey Federation for the U.S. and, of course, the farmer in eastern Iowa grows corn and soybeans and obviously grows turkeys. But he's highlighted this year because he gets a chance to present the turkeys to President Trump for pardoning this Thanksgiving holiday. And we're going to pick his brain about some other things as well, as far as the turkey industry and how the crop came along for him in Iowa. So he's farming just outside of Davenport near Walcott. Want to say hello to you, Ron, and thanks for your time.
Oh, glad to join you. It's a thrill. Appreciate it.
Well, tell us about how you had the chance to be chosen to raise the turkeys for the presidential pardon this year.
Well, the National Turkey Federation has a board of directors, of which I was a member of that. And the board of directors elects an executive committee, just like other companies do. And then once you're elected to the executive committee, then it's basically a seniority and a moving through the chairs to get to the chairmanship. And every year for the past 73 years, the turkey that's presented to the President of the United States comes from the chairman's farm or the chairman's home state, if that person isn't a turkey grower themselves.
I want to say thanks to your wife, Susie. She's also the camera person today for those that might not be able to see her. But you have a nice welcome sign to your turkey farm there right next to you. And you obviously have been raising turkeys for quite a while. So give us a real glimpse of your farm, if you would.
Okay, well, our farm where Susie and I live was homesteaded by my ancestors in the 1850s. So it's been in our family. I'm the sixth generation to farm. And like all farms from those days, they did everything. They had cows, they had chickens, they had pigs, and because it was required, they had to be self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
So as the last 170 years have evolved, just like all farms, we've gone from doing a little bit of everything to when I was young and growing up here, we raised a lot of cattle. And then as that situation changed and appetites and consumer trends changed, we moved into raising turkeys. Now we've been raising turkeys for the last 41 years.
Now the turkeys that are going to the White House to President Trump are right next to you, correct? So can we take a look? Can we take a look at those?
Yep. Let's head in and see what we got here. So these turkeys started out as 30, and we have narrowed them down based upon their temperament, the way they look, the way they act. And so as you can see, they're not on the camp, but so it's just a process of basically finding the one with the best temperament and the one that'll stand still the most and be as this one is right here. So they strut, they preen, they should be gobbling right now, but they're not. Well, they'll let out a gobble when you least expect it.
And what do they weigh, Ron?
Right now they're around 40 pounds. They're about 17 and a half weeks old. So they came mid-July, and so just to get the age and the weight correct, that's when we started them.
Now give us a feel for how many turkeys are going to be raised this year on your farm, and because of the coronavirus, I'm hearing that turkey growers are growing smaller turkeys because folks at home will have smaller gatherings, and so they might be buying or looking for smaller turkeys. Is that correct? Or
well, that's correct. To your original question, where we live here, we start about 110,000 turkeys a year, not at once, staggered throughout the year, and we're part owners of another business where we raise about 550,000 a year. But to your question of the size of the bird, that's been an industry issue this year, because the plans that are made for the turkeys that are going to be raised, that starts like a year ago. So then when 6 months ago, when COVID hit, it's a little hard for companies to shift gears and go to a smaller bird. There's a ton of effort being put into doing that. But as you can well imagine, when when you produce a smaller bird, your overhead costs go up. So it's one of those chicken and egg thing and the other thing though, Mike, is you got to consider that having a big bird at Thanksgiving creates leftovers, and that's a good thing. I love leftovers. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Best part of Thanksgiving.
You betcha. Well, folks, we're speaking here with Ron Kardel. He's the chairman of the National Turkey Federation, and he's a farmer outside of Walcott, Iowa, corn, soybeans, and obviously raises turkeys. But we're talking to him today because this flock will be getting the pardon from the President of the United States coming up in the next week or so from President Trump. And Ron has been willing to let us sit in for a little session here on the turkeys here and maybe educate folks a little bit, if you would, on the difference between these turkeys and the turkeys of old. Now, I want to show you real quick a photo that we're running in Successful Farming this month. These turkeys came, 72 or 73 years ago. And I guess, to me, they look really, really big. But are these turkeys any bigger than what you have behind you?
No, actually, those turkeys from that time frame were much smaller. They were probably in the 10 to 20 pound range as a tom turkey. I believe those pictures are toms because they're strutting. Whereas now the turkeys, because of America's appetite for breast meat versus dark meat, they have been bred over the years to produce a larger percentage of breast meat. And so they have been raised to bigger weights. Again, part of it's economics. It's cheaper overhead costs to produce a bigger bird.
Yeah.
But and they have evolved through natural breeding. They've made them white instead of the bronze or the brown colored, and that was accomplished again through crossbreeding. But the point is when the feather gets pulled out, there's no pigment. The pigment that's left in the skin is white instead of brown. So it's an appealing, an eye appeal sort of thing.
I see.
Yep.
Well, hey, Ron, thanks for your time. I'll have to say, these are the quietest turkeys I've ever seen.
Yeah, I know. We can't get them to talk.
That's okay. That's all right. We do appreciate your time. Thanks to Susie as well, the camera person. Ron and Susie Kardel of Walcott, Iowa. He is the chairman of the National Turkey Federation. I know that some people might think that politically there are people out there that President Trump should be pardoning, but these guys these turkeys do get the pardon this year. And we want to thank you for your time and good luck to your trip to Washington, D.C.
Oh, it was a chance to chat with you and get to know you.
You betcha. Tell the president hi, Ron, and have a safe trip.
Okay, thank you.
That's again Ron Kardel, chairman of the National Turkey Federation. I'm Mike McGinnis for agriculture.com.